create this wonderful effect, putting a guy like this on top of the water. First thing I'm going to do, open up this image. We're using Photoshop 2020. Now, if you've got Photoshop 2020, this is the tutorial for you. If you don't, unfortunately, this is not going to work. I have to do it another way. You have to look at my other tutorials to show how to do it with another version of Photoshop 2020, or not 2020. In 2020, you've got the selection box tools here. Now, you want the object selection tool. And we're just going to zoom in a little bit here so you see what we're talking about. I'm going to select that and just roughly just draw around your subject. We're lucky in this image because the actual subject is sharper than the background, like a portrait mode. So it automatically just selects it for you. That's perfect, that's what we want. We're not going to go into too much intricate detail. Now what we're going to do, we're going to get the move tool, and straight away we get the transformation box come up. We can move him out of there into our new picture and drop and drag him into that. So I'm going to zoom back out to normal screen. Now I'm going to move him up. Now I'm going to have him, obviously, as you can see in the thumbnail, I'm going to bring him down in size so he actually matches and fill goes in. So what I'm going to do now is just going to move in, zoom in a little bit here, put him in position. Now he's got a little brightness here on his hand and here, which is good because it's going to reflect off this light source here on the actual background. Hold down the spacebar key and move the whole image around in position. Now we can keep going to all these little tiny details like in between his fingers here and stuff like that. We can do that at a later. I'll do that at a later stage. At this stage, what we're going to do, we want to put him in this position here. And over here, if it's in the layer off, you can see the grass pieces here. Now, they're going to be in front of his foot. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to roughly draw around those, like that with the selection tool. I'm going to copy it, go back to his image there, and then I'm going to paste it. And straight away it comes up with that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to double click the layer. Now I'm going to hold down the command key. And this layer, the top layer, I'm just going to bring that down a bit and watch what happens. It starts to show through. That's not the size we want it the other way around. So as you can see, it started to show through, which is perfect, that's what we want. So that's good. Now I'm just going to get rid of that part there and delete that. And it looks like his feet are actually behind that grass now, which is good. So I'm going to put those to the foot, or the layer that we put on top of his foot, and him. We're going to put them into one layer. So I'm going to hold down the command key, and we've already got layer 2 there, and click on layer 1. See they're both clicked, and hit the G key, and let go of all the keys. Now it's a group. Right click that, convert to smart object, right click it again, rasterize layer. Now I'm going to create a duplicate layer of this because I'm going to make a shadow for underneath, and I want a shadow to be identical to him. So you're going to go right click, duplicate layer, call it whatever you want. I'll convert it to a grayscale, so I'm going to go Command Shift U, and straight away go to the grayscale, image, adjustments and levels. Now with the levels on the top one left here, you turn all the way to the right, and the whole image becomes black. You've got little pieces in between there. We're not going to worry too much about those, just for the tutorial purposes. Now we're going to turn it upside down, so we're going to go to Edit, Transform, flip vertically, bring it down to something like there where his fingertips are. Now, because we've got all this, we're not going to worry too much about it. But what we're going to do, we're going to hold down the Shift key and then transform it up like that. We're just going to use the selection a bit so it kind of matches a little bit more. Okay, might even make it a little bit smaller because it's a bit of a distance away from where he is. Alright, so we're going to put it like that. Now what we're going to do, we're going to drag and drop it underneath his layer. The opacity, we're going to go up to the blending mode, and we're going to bring it down to either one of these here. We go up the screen, that's not good enough, multiplier is not good enough. So it's going to be overlay, soft overlay. Go hard overlay is too dark. Soft overlay, and if it's too much for you, like as it in there, it is a bit too much here. So what we're going to do, we're going to bring the opacity down just a tad. So now we've got ourselves a bit of a shadow there. If we zoom out, it looks a little bit more realistic now, where he's got that shadow. Now, the only problem is with the shadow, it's too far on the left. So we're going to select it, edit, transform, and warp. And what we're going to do is just going to warp the whole image down a bit like that, and just drag it more into position of what it realistically should look like. So that looks quite good at this stage. That's good. Now he's not the best color matching with the rest of it at the moment. As you can see around the edges here, we've got that little border. That's easily fixed. We're going to go up to layer, come down to matting and defringe, leave it at number 1, and that'll do that. There we go. So let's get rid of that. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to muck around with the adjustments, like, contrast and all that. First thing we're going to do, image adjustments and exposure. Might bring the gamma correction up because the rest of the image is quite detailed with gamma correction. Exposure, bring down a tad, not too much. That'll do. Now we're going to select this and blend him into the color background. So I'm going to hold down the command key, click on him, and on the bottom here we're just going to go solid color, which is a new layer. The eyedropper tool comes up. So we're just going to select an area whereabouts he's located. That'll do. Alright, and then we go up to the blending mode, and we're going to come down to soft light, and then we're going to bring that down a tad as well. So we turn it off. You can see a bit of a difference there. That's basically it. Alright, so guys, that's basically how you do that. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon. Bye.